Sarah's hands trembled as another contraction gripped her body like a vice. The hospital corridors blurred past her wheelchair as the nurse rushed her toward the delivery room. But all she could think about was the cruel irony of her situation. After 3 years of raising her daughter Emma alone, working double shifts as a waitress just to keep their tiny apartment, she was about to bring another child into this world with nothing but hope and determination. The father had vanished the moment she told him about the pregnancy, leaving her with nothing but broken promises and unpaid bills. As the automatic doors to the maternity ward swung open, Sarah closed her eyes and whispered a prayer that somehow, someway, everything would be okay. The nurse wheeled Sarah into the delivery room, and she couldn't help but notice the hushed conversations among the medical staff. Something felt different about this hospital visit compared to when she'd had Emma at the overcrowded public clinic across town. This private hospital was a world away from anything she could afford, but it was the closest facility when her water broke during her shift at Mickey's Diner. "Mom, we need to get you settled quickly," said a kind-faced nurse named Patricia. "The doctor will be in shortly." Sarah nodded, trying to focus on her breathing as another wave of pain crashed over her. She'd been through this before, but being alone made everything feel more frightening. Emma was safely with her neighbor Mrs. Rodriguez, but Sarah couldn't shake the worry about the mounting medical bills this emergency delivery would create. The door opened, and Sarah heard the confident footsteps of the attending physician. She kept her eyes closed, concentrating on managing the pain, until she heard a voice that made her blood run cold. "Hello, Sarah." Her eyes snapped open, and there he was, Dr. Alexander Hayes, wearing surgical scrubs instead of the expensive suits she remembered, but unmistakably the man who had walked out of her life 3.5 years ago. The same piercing blue eyes, the same strong jawline, the same voice that had once whispered promises of forever. "Alex?" The name escaped her lips as barely a whisper. He stepped closer, his expression unreadable. "I'm the head of obstetrics here. Don't worry, you're in excellent hands." Sarah felt a mixture of emotions flood through her: anger, embarrassment, fear, and something she couldn't quite identify. The last time she'd seen Alex, he'd been a struggling medical resident drowning in student debt. Now, according to the gossip magazines she'd glimpsed at grocery store checkout lines, he was Dr. Alexander Hayes, the billionaire surgeon who'd revolutionized prenatal care with his innovative techniques and had built a medical empire. "I can't afford this," she said through gritted teeth as another contraction hit. "I shouldn't be here. I need to go to County General." Alex moved with practiced efficiency, checking her chart and examining her vital signs. "You're not going anywhere. You're too far along, and County General is 40 minutes away. We're having this baby here tonight." The next few hours blurred together in a haze of pain, exhaustion, and the surreal reality of having her billionaire ex-boyfriend deliver her child. Alex was nothing if not professional, coordinating with his team with the precision and expertise that had made him famous in medical circles. Despite their history, Sarah found herself trusting him completely in this vulnerable moment. But as the delivery progressed, complications arose. The baby's heart rate began to drop, and Sarah could see the concern etched on Alex's face. "We need to move to emergency cesarean," he announced to his team. "Sarah, I need you to stay calm. We're going to take excellent care of both of you." As they prepped her for surgery, Sarah grabbed Alex's hand. "If something happens to me, promise me you'll make sure Emma is taken care of. She's with Mrs. Rodriguez in apartment 4B at Maple Gardens." Alex squeezed her hand. "Nothing is going to happen to you, I promise." 2 hours later, Sarah woke up in a private recovery room to the sound of a baby crying. Alex was sitting in a chair beside her bed, cradling a tiny bundle wrapped in a pink blanket. "Meet your daughter, Lily," he said softly, placing the baby in Sarah's arms. Sarah's heart melted as she looked down at her perfect, healthy baby girl. She's beautiful. Is she okay? Earlier, you seemed worried. She's perfect. 10 fingers, 10 toes, and a very healthy set of lungs, Alex assured her. You did great, Sarah. They sat in comfortable silence for a while, watching Lily sleep. Finally, Sarah worked up the courage to ask the question that had been burning in her mind. Why did you leave, Alex? 3.5 years ago, you just disappeared. One day we were planning our future, and the next day you were gone. Alex's expression grew pained. I got the call about my father's death the morning after we talked about getting married. I inherited everything: the pharmaceutical companies, the research facilities, the hospitals. I was suddenly responsible for thousands of employees and millions of dollars. I thought you deserved someone who could give you a normal life, not someone drowning in corporate responsibilities and family obligations. That wasn't your choice to make, Sarah said quietly. I loved you, Alex. We could have figured it out together. I know that now, he admitted. I've regretted that decision every day for the past 3 years. When I saw your name on the patient list tonight, I thought maybe fate was giving me a chance to make things right. Over the next few days, as Sarah recovered, Alex visited regularly. He brought Emma to meet her new sister, and Sarah watched in amazement as her 3-year-old daughter took to Alex immediately. He was patient with her endless questions, gentle with her fears about having a baby sister, and somehow managed to make the hospital feel less scary. On the day Sarah was scheduled to be discharged, Alex knocked on her door with an unusual expression on his face. Sarah, I need to tell you something. I've taken care of all your medical expenses. The entire bill has been covered. Sarah's eyes widened. Alex, I can't accept that. This must have cost her. It's done, he said firmly. But that's not all. I've been thinking about what you said, about us figuring things out together. I know I don't deserve a second chance, but I'd like to try to earn one. He pulled out a small velvet box. This isn't a proposal, it's a promise. A promise that if you let me, I want to be part of your life, and Emma's life, and Lily's life. I want to be the man I should have been 3 years ago. Inside the box was a simple, beautiful necklace with 2 small pendants, one engraved with Emma's name, and one with Lily's. Sarah felt tears streaming down her face. Alex, I don't know what to say. Say you'll give me a chance to prove that love is more powerful than fear. Say you'll let me show you that some people really can change. 6 months later, Sarah found herself standing in the garden of Alex's estate, watching Emma chase butterflies while Lily napped peacefully in her stroller. Alex had been true to his word, courting her slowly and patiently, proving through actions rather than words that he was committed to their family. He'd insisted on paying for Emma's preschool and had set up college funds for both girls. But more importantly, he'd shown up for every doctor's appointment, every sleepless night with Lily, every bedtime story with Emma. He'd learned to braid hair and make pancakes shaped like animals. He'd turned his mansion into a home filled with laughter and love. Penny for your thoughts, Alex said, wrapping his arms around her from behind. I was just thinking about that night in the hospital, Sarah said, leaning back against his chest. If someone had told me then that we'd be here now, I never would have believed it. I almost lost the most important thing in my life because I was too afraid to fight for it, Alex murmured against her hair. I'll never make that mistake again. As Emma ran toward them, her face glowing with happiness, Sarah realized that sometimes the most unbelievable thing of all is the power of love to heal old wounds and create new beginnings. Alex had done something truly unbelievable. He'd chosen love over fear, family over fortune, and in doing so, had given them all the most precious gift imaginable, a second chance at forever. The evening sun cast golden light across their garden as their family came together, imperfect but whole, broken but healing, and filled with the kind of love that makes anything possible. And as Lily stirred in her stroller and opened her eyes for the first time that day, Sarah knew that this little girl would grow up in a world where love conquers all, where people can change, and where sometimes the most beautiful stories are the ones that begin with endings and find their way to new beginnings. In the distance, Alex's phone buzzed with another business call, but for the first time in years, he let it go to voicemail. Some things, he'd learned, were far more important than any deal, any fortune, or any empire he could build. Some things were worth everything, and this moment, with his family around him and love filling his heart, was worth more than all the billions in the world.